Hey guys, this is Direct Minecraft here, back with another live stream on the SloverTeam YouTube channel. Today, we are playing on SloverTeam. Yep. And the first thing I'd like to mention is I have gotten a new skin for the holidays. Ain't that awesome, guys? You may notice that there were some people missing, and those people happen to be maybe Marcus Slover or A Crafting Fish or Agarcraft Fish or Alex Durian 7. Well, guys, here's the thing. I don't know what's holding Marcus up from talking to me, because I was hoping that we could do the stream together. Also, you may notice the thumbnail looks a little the same. I couldn't ask him for a new thumbnail either, so yeah, we might add a new thumbnail to the stream once the stream's over, but for now, you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. I'm really sorry. But anyways, guys, let's get on with the live stream. So today I am on SloverTeam, of course. I'm here to tell you guys all about the new updates to the game. And yep. About the updates to the lobby updates. And I'm also going to do a Christmas present hunt. And we're starting with this one. Alright. Present number 1 has been found. Alright, let's... Marcus might call me later and join the stream. You know, it's been a while since I've streamed on the SloverTeam channel. Here's another present. Let's see if we can get all 30. Well, I mentioned the new updates. Like, oh yeah, here's an obvious one. We, just like our Halloween update, we also got the snowman Bob. He's got cool stuff for you guys to collect. And it's just like the other lobby for Halloween. And we also got an advent calendar where you guys can earn rewards every day. I think there's supposed to be 25. I think there's supposed to be 25 because they're sorry about that, guys. All right. So what else? Another present. All right, and Kayla Fowler, the gamer / blogger, says hi. All right, and oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention these wings you see, the ones that change from green to red. You can get those in the Minecraft store, I think, or in our current giveaway for some bundles. If you guys play Minecraft, join our server. Go ahead and join the giveaway. Now, let's see. I think there's a present up here. There's more details as I look. So, oh wow. Oh wait. Oh, okay. It leads me to a cave, and oh sweet, another present. I wonder if it's a real one. Present number 4. Let's see if we can find all 30. I'm gonna be in the lobby throughout the whole stream. No games today, so yeah. Go ahead and join me in the lobby and come help me out. I wonder if there's how many people are watching. It's a grand total of 1, and I think that's me. All right, let's just look for now. Okay, present number 5, and check this out, guys. We have a leaderboard over here, and it's really nice. Anyway, let's check in that cave for presents. You know, I'll be honest. This is actually one of the first live streams I've been alone in. Like, I'm usually talking to somebody or okay. Present number 6. I've actually been waiting to do this for a while, but hey, whoa. All right, I am forbidden from flying. Oh, hey, guys, let me tell you more about this igloo. Marcus and all the other developers are currently working on Christmas games until then, but until they're ready, well, oh yeah. Until then, it's just a present spot. More details about the further along. Present number 8. What's that? That's where I could have sworn I felt a scratch, but it was probably nothing. Now, let's see. Where else could I look for presents? There, I've collected 8 so far, so hang on a sec. I gotta check on something. That's it. Alright, I was just checking my current status, and streaming's working perfectly. That's good. I like that. I like working streams. Alright. Now let's see if we can find any more presents. Okay. This isn't the same lobby as I remember from a year ago. Then again, it was a year ago. What could you expect, guys? Alright, let's see. Oh. Alright. Let's see if there's any... Aw, yeah! Oh, these are fake presents. They are good. With that. Alright. There must be more around here somewhere. All right. Oh, let's check in here. Let's see. Present number 10. Right. All right. You could say I'm also waiting for someone to, maybe one of the other SloverTeam YouTubers give me a call about this, to be honest. Present 11. I spotted it in the window. All right. And I was just in here. Was I also just in... okay, I'll be honest. I'm really confused. Wait, is this the... Oh, I haven't been in here yet. Most of the houses inside look the same. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna... Let's see. Alright. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, I thought I could set it brighter. Sorry about that. Let's continue playing. Oh, maybe there's another present up this ladder. Wait. Oh. Wait. Oh, it's the same spot. I just missed a present. Alright, guys. Man. Man. Normally, people are really happy when this thing goes live. Is it just supposed to be a sad day or something? Okay, and present number 13. 13. Woohoo! We're up into the 13. Alright, so I think there's supposed to be presents hidden in caves. Oh, hey, here's a cave. Maybe there's something in here. I do not remember you. That is in 14. Alright, let's see if we can look for more. Hey, what's this? Oh, sweet. Oh. Wow. Okay, okay, Fierce is saying, hey dude, this stream is kind of buggy. Why, how is it buggy, Fierce? Like, can you explain it to me? Is it if it's slow or something? Or if it's going a little too fast or a few minutes behind? Most streams happen like that, alright? So, it's lagging a little. Oh, really? Is it a big problem, Fierce? Is it a problem? A big one? Or is it really nothing? By the way, Fierce, do you want to join the SloverTeam Minecraft server so you can hunt presents with me, or or I mean, not really a big one, but it kind of messes up the quality. Messing up the quality. Well, I'm sorry if I don't have good quality. All right. I had to make some adjustments to make it perfect, and the adjustments worked great because it said in the live dashboard that it was fine. So sorry. Also, is anyone else here? All right. Okay, let's see. Are there any more? Wait, did I just? Oh, hey, Marcus Slower joined the lobby. Woohoo! And I've already been through this. And okay, let's go ahead and say hi to Marcus. All right. Let's ask him. All right. All right. All right. So, okay. So I'm guessing Fierce is A1 Empire. I'm assuming. And apparently Marcus can't join us today. Even though... Oh, hey. Huh. Didn't notice that one. Alright, I found 19 presents. I'm almost up to... Oh, well, I guess this solves it. I'm already up to 20. Alright. I may not be alone in the lobby, but... Alright. So... Found that one already. Alright, I'm gonna fly around to see if I can find more. Wait, was I through here yet? Yep, I was through here. Wait. Okay, so that's that tunnel. Oh, hey, I don't... Oh, wait. Yep, I've been through that. Man, it gets harder to find them. Maybe there's a present on top of this huge star. Nope. Or somewhere along the tree, maybe? Alright. Okay. Wait, is that... Oh yeah, present number 21. Let's see if we can find 22. Alright. Alright, found number 22. Alright, let's give Optimal a challenge. Let's see if he can find me. Found number 23. Now, where's 24? Oh, that was easy. Probably because he's watching. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, dude. Alright. You already got 12. That's really nice. I only got 7 left to find. And there's Marcus. Feel like... And now he's gone. Alright. Mouse and Marks. I have 2 left and there's like no way I'll be able to... Oop. Okay. Alright. Alright, I'll TP to you. Oh, and, hello, Vexit. Okay. Yeah, I found that one already, man. I already found that. Alright. Oh, wow, people are showing up. Oh, wait. Oh, here's one. Alright. Okay, who is this? Mouse and Mark Studios, like, who is this? Oh, yes, wait, are you watching? Okay, give me a sec. Alright, I'm gonna TP to Empire because I really don't know anymore. Oh, found that one already. Man. He did. Also, wait, what's this? Okay, I don't remember the last time we had a promotion on here. What was that, like, 12 months or maybe? Oh, sweet. I found 25. Alright. I only have 5 presents left to find. Alright, so let's see if I can, do you have one behind the do you have the one behind the scoreboard? Yes, I did. Have you checked in that cave? Alright. Okay, I don't know who's still... Let me see how many people are still in here. 4 people! And I think one of them is me. Oh, man. I think everyone in the lobby's watching. Okay. Alright. Alright. At least that's what I think. Maybe there's some on top of the roofs. Huh. Okay. Direct, I'm going to play Warframe. Wow. You don't have to tell me what you're gonna do. You know that, Kayla Fowler, the gamer / blogger? You have 22. I got 25. So, this was a contest. I'd be winning right now. Alright, I'm not gonna give up till I find the last 5 presents. Now, there's one on the roof that I know. There's one on a roof that you know. But you can't remember which roof. I'm gonna look on top of the roofs to see if there's if I can find the one you're trying to talk about. Okay, you just found one. 28. Okay. Yep, you are definitely that one. Alright, let's see. A roof that is... Wait a minute. Huh? Huh? Guys? That was Okay, guys, I'm having some issues at the moment. I don't even know what's wrong. Guys? Okay, guys, okay. Alright, okay, it looks like my connection's back. I don't know. Alright. Okay, that's, bad. That's really bad. Okay. Oh, I found the 26th present. Alright. Alright. Guys, it looks like my connection's, not going great for me. So I'm gonna have to forcibly be ending the stream, even though I really don't want to. But I think I better end it before this connection gets any worse. So, thank you guys for watching, and, well, I hope to see you guys in the next stream. Hopefully, Marcus can solve this problem. So, I'm gonna go now, guys. I'm really sorry, but this connection's only gonna get worse. What? What? Can I get one? What on earth are you talking about? Fun Toad. My connection's getting worse by the minute. So, I have to end the stream really quickly. So, if you guys got any final questions, you better tell me now, because I'm going to go offline soon. 3. Wait, what? I got 1 bar. Dang. Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna have to. Alright. Last minute questions. Hope you get. Give me mod in you. No! I am not gonna give you moderation on YouTube. Sorry, Fun Toaded. Alright. You know what, guys? I gotta go. So. Alrighty, guys. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think that was... Huh. Hey, guys, is my connection better? If it is, then I can keep going. And don't tell me any lies. Wait. It's not being cut. It's not being cut. Guys, the stream's still going on. The stream is still going on. Let me just alert it. Let me just alert it, just to make sure that people are still. All right, I have no idea where that's connecting to. So guys, I think it was just a accidental malfunction. Guys, the stream's still going, but I only have 4 presents left to find. Oh, Vexit must be using the Lavy mod. That might explain why he's seeing the ping like that. Alright. Guys. This is really good news. The stream is still going on. Alright. Alrighty, guys, so... Alright. You know what? I did want to answer some questions. So if you had any for me, go ahead. Because... even though I was going to end the stream off with the questions, I might as well just answer them while I'm looking for the other presents. Alright. Whoa. Hey, wait a minute. Why are you on my head? Why are you on my head? Would you please get off of my head? Please. If you wanted attention, you got it. But the only way I can see right now is like this. Alright. Okay, so Funatoad. Hi there. Okay, I'm really sorry, but I can't really see where I'm going with you on my head. Does that make sense? But hey, at least you got some camera time, if you can call it that. I'm not really sure anymore. Hello, Mr. Moderator. Now I'm just going to... lead the way to the presents. Okay, I found one behind this tree. Did you get that one? Alright, okay, I'll be honest, guys. I really still want to look for those presents. Now, okay, so Marinaria said there was one on a roof. Maybe that's one of the missing 4 oh, come on. Okay. Damn, VIP makes me jealous. Look. Wait, what? I direct why? Huh? Okay, so... Alright, Marina, or how do you, like, you know what, where did you said this, one of the presents was on top of a roof, you know? Wait a minute. 3, 4, one's on the snowy cliffs. Alright. It's like Mary. Alright. There is a present here. Wreck Minecraft, how you doing? I'm doing great now that my stream connection's actually a little better. Alright, guys. Hey, my ping's actually, it's back up to 4. 4 bars. I don't know what it looks like with the Laby mod users, but, Alright, so someone just left to go to a slower town. I thought that server was, sort of dead. Anyway, guys. Christmas games coming soon. I, have a prediction for one of them. I found 4 on the cliffs. Where are you, Alright. Alright. Hello, exit. Alright. Alright. Alright, guys. Okay. Sometimes I wish these could be the last 4 presents. There's 2 in this house. Wait. Direct making the same hums as the illiger noises. That might be my fan. I gotta keep it on at all times, even if I'm live. And wait. Okay, alrighty, guys. Alright. Unfortunately, there's no one else I can ask who knows where the presents are, so... Alright. I feel like I should probably just, let me think here. Just end the stream just so I can, go eat lunch or... Alright. Sometimes I could... Okay, right now I'm just feeling hungry. But that can wait. Hopefully not for hours. It makes sense, guys. Like, the more presents you find, the harder it is to go that you're gonna find them. Alright. Well, guys, I'm just feeling like maybe I should just stop. I was kind of hoping maybe Marcus would come on and, talk with me, because apparently people love Marcus streaming more than me. It's just a sad fact of life, apparently. So, guys, I am officially going to end this stream, and it's not because of connection. I'm ending this because I want to end it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and, alright, I'm just going to say it in the mind. Oh, really? Yeah, that's true. I guess, but more people show up when Marcus streams. Does that make sense? Do you remember me? Beck said. Of course I remember you. People really just want me to find those last 4 presents. But I'm just not feeling it. And besides, I don't want to just sit in my chair all day. I mean, I really just I just need to relax. Sorry, guys, but I'm gonna have to go. So tune in maybe later today where I might finish up the present hunt. But until then, I'm gonna just go. Bye, guys.